The bike ladder now as we roll into round number 2, which features Hector Arana Jr., Eddie Krawiec, Chaz Kennedy, and Jerry Savoy with lane choice.
And right now on the line is Jerry Savoy with Scotty Polachek. As we mentioned, Jerry Savoy is #1 in my power rings because that Suzuki has been running very strong, and he's continuing.
Only one semi in the last 11 races on tour for Scotty Polachek, who just went 002. Jerry Savoy lost in the semis in 2011, and he's going to pay for that 103 reaction time. Couple of subpar runs there. A great light coupled with an awful light, but it all boils down to Scotty Polachek getting the round win.
Erica, can you give us perspective now with Jason Line losing in that last round and you winning?
Gary, this is what it's all about, I guess, you know, and I was really fortunate that round. Angel came back to my car and gave me a pep talk, and, you know, it means the world that she stands behind me and supports me, but, you know, she said about just putting it out of your mind, treating it like it's a qualifying round, and just go out there and race and have fun. Forget about the championship, and, you know, that's been our focus this whole year with this team, and just having fun. So I'm really proud of my guys. It was a little interesting up there. I had some issues with gauge readouts and whatnot, but my engine guy just said, send it, let's go, and we'll see what happens. And fortunately enough, it was good enough to get lane choice, and we'll go back and analyze and see what happens, but I'm really excited. God is good all the time.
Is that national record still a possibility in the 20 bonus points?
It definitely is. I mean, the air is obviously conducive. The clouds keep going in and out. The track is staying pretty consistent. It usually gets worse second round. It was pretty even to first round for Pro Stock. So, you know, that's in my crew chief's hands. I'm just going to try to focus on the task at hand for me and stay focused and stay not nervous.
Thank you. Good luck.
Chaz Kennedy and Andrew Hines. 6:77.0. Hello, Andrew Hines. Low elapsed time by a bunch. One of the best runs we've seen in a while.
Brittany forces pit for a grind boss fix-it pit report. You see the engine they had to pull out. They threw a couple rods, broke a couple rods in this. Dropped a cylinder, backfired through the supercharger, but I think maybe we can call this more than a backfire. Look at the case here. It just split it right apart right here. You can see the inner workings of the supercharger. Not sure they want us to show that kind of stuff, but Mike, I think perhaps that's a little more than just a simple backfire. It's more like an atomic explosion inside of the supercharger.
Yeah, but, you know, it might have broke. You take a split screen look at the Friday night run on the left and the most recent run. Obviously, there was a lot more damage today. But I tell you what, the concussion from the one on Friday might have been worse, because a lot of times if it doesn't blow it apart, it contains that explosion a little bit more and funnels it back. But either way, you don't see that very often where they're actually splitting the case. We used to see that in the old days. Nowadays, they might blow the end plates off a little bit, but a lot of times they're able to use the case on a supercharger backfire. But obviously, that one's pretty much junk.
Big time carnage for sure. We just saw Andrew Hines go 6:77. Remind you that he set the national record here in 2012 when Andrew went 6:72.8. Right now, it's about Hector Arana Jr. and Matt Smith, the reigning two-wheel champion for at least the next 3 races.
Two riders have really struggled making consistent back-to-back runs. They have good running motorcycles when they do make full passes. Oh, Junior! Red light, bucking Bronco, gives it to Matt Smith. He's going to coast across the finish line into the semifinals.
Well, Matt Smith gets the win with that 7:56.4 second elapsed time.
Can you taste that championship?
It's getting close. You know, the big thing is we won it for Screaming Eagle, Vance and Hines, Harley Davidson. And if we can come out of this Reading race, which is stellar racing conditions, with a good cushion over third, we'll be happy to have it in our camp. But believe me, I want it just as bad as anybody else in my camp.
Bet.
Eddie Krawiec now, Andrew's teammate, and Adam Arana. Adam, who fouled out in round 1 last year racing Eddie Krawiec.
What can Eddie do right now, since his teammate just ran a 6:77, taking away that low ET of the event from Hector Arana Jr., who you just saw go out. Now, Junior's brother Adams had a good running bike this weekend, but I think he's going to have to push the tree a little bit to try to get around Eddie, but obviously you don't want to push it too much.
Everybody taking their time here. Left lane moves first. That's Eddie Krawiec.
Should be over.
And it is. A little wiggle, no big deal. Eddie goes 680 with a 6. That sets up a semifinal matchup as Eddie Krawiec will take on Matt Smith. So the final four feature the last two Pro Stock Motorcycle champions as Matt Smith will race Eddie Krawick. Eddie Krawick picking his lane, courtesy of that 6.806 second pass. And then the all-world move goes to Andrew Hines at 6.77. Just more than good enough for lane choice against Scotty Polachek.